Welcome back to the BJack 70 show. I'm your host, Brandon Jackson, and it is time for the divisional round of the NFL playoffs upcoming this weekend, tomorrow afternoon, all the way through Sunday night. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the college football national championship on Monday, give you Brandon's bets for that, give you my straight up winners for those games on top of the bets. But before we get into it, just want to say thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Thank you for subscribing to the channel, for liking the video, and heading to Spotify to subscribe on Spotify. Appreciate you doing that. Thank you for doing that, because I know, you're going to support, you're going to do it. You're going to go ahead and support the channel in that way. Help the channel get out into the YouTube algorithm. And yeah, I appreciate you doing that, because I know you're going to right now, if you haven't already, right now. So anyway, let's get right into it. We have on Saturday the Buffalo Bills at the Denver Broncos, and we got the Buffalo Bills. I'm taking the Buffalo Bills plus 1.5. Now, am I going to pick them to win? Yes, I'm going to take them to win and cover. And the reason is this is going to be a close game. You can tell by the spread it's going to be a close game. The Broncos have been an elite defense all season, and you would think that their strengths go against the Buffalo Bills' weaknesses. The Buffalo Bills don't have any receivers. They don't really have any playmakers on the outside. They have James Cook, and they can run the ball very well, and I'm sure they will run the ball very well, even against a good Denver Broncos defense. But at the end of the day, this Buffalo Bills team has Josh Allen. They have a weapon that nobody else in this league, in these playoffs, can use, can deploy. Nobody else has a weapon like Josh Allen. Nobody has a super soldier on their roster like Josh Allen. And this is a team game. It's a team sport. 11 guys on both sides. It doesn't, it's not just that, but it's going to be hard for me to bet against Josh Allen with Bo Nix on the other side. Now, last year, this team, I think Denver went into Buffalo and got spanked up. They got whooped up. And it wasn't very close at the end. This is a different Broncos team. Unfortunately for the Bills, it's a different Bills team. I think this game is going to be close throughout. Buffalo's biggest weakness is their run defense. I'm not sure how much the Broncos can take advantage of that poor Bills run defense. RJ Harvey is good. They have a nice stable of running backs, but nobody, as of yet, that's dominant, that's a real true workhorse guy back there. And of course, Bo Nix can run a little bit. He can get out on the scramble, do a couple things in the run game, but I'm not expecting the Broncos to be able to take advantage of that run defense like maybe a number of other teams that are playing in the playoffs can. And I think if they aren't able to do that, and I don't think they will be able to do that, that might be their downfall, because for everything going on with this Bills defense, the pass defense is okay. The pass defense is enough to get it done, especially with Josh Allen on the other side. I'm looking at James Cook. I'm looking at Josh Allen, hoping that they can keep it close enough to where they can edge it out late. Looking at most of these games on the slate, feel like they're going to be a field goal game either way. Especially this one. It's gonna be close throughout. It's gonna be close throughout. And when it's this close, when the margins are this thin, I'm gonna go ahead and err on the side of the team that has the better quarterback, the more proven quarterback, the MVP quarterback, the all-pro quarterback, the possible future Hall of Famer quarterback on that side. So all that being said, I got the Bills plus 1.5, and I got them to win outright. So that's that. Moving on, we have the San Francisco 49ers at the Seattle Seahawks. For Brandon's bets, I'm going to take the Niners plus 7. I'm going to take the 7 points, and I'm going to run to the bank with it. And let me tell you why. The last time we saw these teams face off, Seattle pretty much dominated all the way through. San Francisco could not get a thing going in the run game or the pass game. Brock Purdy got shut down. Christian McCaffrey was held in check. And on the other side, the Seahawks did what they wanted on the ground. Now, again, I don't think that performance is going to be replicated. Will the Seahawks have some success on the ground? Yes, I'm sure. But once again, I'm here in a big spot in the playoffs where this really truly matters. I am asking Sam Darnold, can he do it again? He did it last time. I'm asking, can he do it again? And I'm recording this on Thursday. On Thursday evening, he popped up on the injury report with an oblique injury. All signs point to him playing on Saturday, so I'm not worried about him not playing, but just him in a big spot in the playoffs. So we know what happened last year in this same exact spot was gonna happen. I don't think he can do it 2 times in a row. And on the other side, you got Brock Purdy, who has been proven in the playoffs. Kyle Shanahan, who's been in his bag all season, in my opinion, should be the coach of the year. I'm not sure, how that's going to go, but he's definitely in the running for it. Robert Saleh is going to figure out a way. He's going to manufacture a way to not get gashed like he did in the run game the last time they met 2 weeks ago. It's not going to happen. I know it in my being that it's not going to happen again. That being said, I have the Niners plus 7, and I think that will cash. But I am taking the Seattle Seahawks to win the game. I said all that about Sam Darnold. I said all that about Robert Saleh on the other side. I just think the Seattle Seahawks defense will be a little bit too much for the Niners in their current state. The Niners, they lost George Kittle. Ricky Pearsall is in and out. Trent Williams did practice in full, so that will be something different for this game on the Niners side. And I think that's enough for them to be able to get a little bit more going in order to cover the spread. But when it comes down to it, I do think the Seahawks will be able to come out with the victory, but I don't think they're covering a touchdown. This is probably going to be close. It's probably going to be low scoring, just like it was in the previous matchup. The Seattle defense is serious. Those boys on defense are the real deal, and I have to respect them. Even though I still do not respect Sam Darnold, I have to put my respect on that Seattle defense, on Mike McDowell's coaching. I have to do it. So I am going to take Seattle to win, but I'm taking the San Francisco 49ers +7 to cover on Saturday. Next up, we have the Houston Texans at the New England Patriots, and the Patriots are -3. I'm going to take the Patriots here to cover, and if they cover, that means they win, of course. So I'm taking the Patriots to win and cover. This was kind of difficult because just like I'm putting respect on the Seattle Seahawks defense, you have to put that equal amount of respect on the Texans defense. This one was a judgment call. The Texans, the defense is so good, they could win against anybody. If they come out victorious this weekend, I wouldn't be the least bit shocked. But on the other side, New England, they showed a little bit of something that we didn't know they had, and they showed a pass rush themselves. If they can get that same pass rush going that they got against the Chargers, against the Texans, who historically have struggled on the offensive line, they'll be gold. In general, I trust CJ Stroud as a quarterback, but specifically in this game, coming off of what he did against Pittsburgh last week, he made some incredible throws. He made some incredible plays. I will grant you that. But my goodness, the ball was all over the place. The ball was in the Steelers' hands. The ball was on the ground. It was way too sloppy. If they had played a better offensive unit last week, the Texans would be at home. They would be in Cancun right now watching these games on television instead of playing in one. But they played the Pittsburgh Steelers and they won, they advanced. Now they have the Patriots. I don't think you are going to be able to withstand being -3 turnovers against Drake May and the Patriots. Against a Mike Vrabel-led team in the playoffs, you are not going to be able to do that. You are not going to get away with that. And to be fair, I don't think this is going to happen again. I don't think they're going to be as sloppy with the football. I don't think they're going to turn the ball over at the rate that they did against the Steelers either. But no Nico Collins in this game. I don't know if that's official or not, but he's too deep into the protocol to be able to get back by Sunday. This Texans offense has been far too inconsistent, boom or bust, up and down all season for me to be able to believe in them this Sunday. And far be it for me to pick a Patriots victory, to pick a Patriots cover. Historically, not a fan of the Boston area teams myself. But I have to go with what I've seen. And this Patriots group is good. They're well coached. They're disciplined. They have a quarterback that is coming into his own. That's a special talent. The type of talent that he has can detonate at any time. And even if you do have an elite defense on one side, if you got a guy that's that special on the other side, whatever you can bring doesn't matter. You can bring Will Anderson off the edge. You can bring Danielle Hunter off the edge, and he can shake those guys off and throw it 40 yards for a touchdown. You never know. You never know when you're looking at a guy like Drake May. But again, I'm going to take the Patriots to win. I'm going to take them to cover, just because I cannot put my faith, my dollars, your dollars into the Houston Texans offense. I struggled with picking against their defense, but I think their offense has been just inconsistent enough for me to go with the favorites in this game. So again, this is one, it could go either way. It could be a 2-point game and the other side wins. It could be a Texans win. It could go a lot of different ways. I really don't know. I just hope it's an exciting one. So there's that. And this game here, the Los Angeles Rams at the Chicago Bears, and as you can see on the ticker, there's no spread, there's no number by either of these teams. The spread is 3.5. The Rams are minus 3.5. The Bears are plus 3.5. There's no number because truly, I don't know. I don't know, and I know you're coming here for the bets. I know you're coming here for football analysis, and that is what I do on the channel. And I owe it to you guys to tell you the truth. I don't know what to do because it's going to be freezing cold in Chicago, and historically over the last few seasons of playoff football, the cold weather doesn't really stop points from being had. And both of these teams, I believe, have elite offenses. The Rams secondary can be had. The Bears defense as a whole can be had. I think this is going to be, I think sparks are going to fly in this football game. I know how cold it's going to be. It's going to feel like -9 degrees out there. I don't know if it's going to be snowing. I don't know what that's gonna be like, but I think this game is going to be back and forth. I think it's going to look a lot like the Niners and Bears game did in, I think it was week 17. And with that being how I feel, and the spread being 3.5, I truly don't know which way to go. I don't know which way to go. I don't know the winner. I don't know what side of the spread I want to be on. I think I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm gonna take the Bears plus 3.5, just because I think it's gonna be a close enough game that I'm gonna take the points. I'm gonna take the plus side and go with that, and hopefully it lands within range. But as far as a straight up winner, I've been thinking about this all week. I know that this recording is coming, and I still don't know. And like my honest truth is I have no idea. I think it's just going to be a flat out high scoring game, and whoever has the ball last is going to win. I truly feel like it's going to be that type of situation. So what I will go with the bet. I'm going to go Bears plus 3.5. I'm going to take the Bears to win the game outright. Again, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back, and after this game is over, I feel like I'm gonna be telling you guys I told you so, and I know I can't say I told you so before it even happened. So I'm gonna take that back. But this is just how I'm feeling straight up. So I'm taking the Chicago Bears plus 3.5. and I'm taking the Bears to win. I'm putting my faith in Ben Johnson, in Caleb Williams, in them being at home, that Soldier Field crowd. I'm going to put my faith in them. But I'm so terrified because on the other side is who I think is going to be the MVP of the league, Sean McVay, and the person that may be the best wide receiver in the National Football League, Puka Nacua. This one is tough. This one is really tough, and I'm thinking through this. I'm thinking through it right here on air. I like I had to get on here and record so it would be ready for you today. But I still wasn't ready to pick this game. I still wasn't ready to pick this game, but I've already said it. I just have to go with it. Bears plus 3.5, Bears to win. I can't talk about it anymore because if I talk about it any longer, I'm going to want to switch. And after all of the NFL is done on Sunday, on Monday, we have the College Football National Championship, the Indiana Hoosiers, the Miami Hurricanes. It's in Miami. It's in Hard Rock Stadium. Fernando Mendoza of the Indiana Hoosiers is from Miami. His whole family will probably be there. It's going to be one hell of a story either way. But the spread is Indiana minus 8.5, and I'm taking Indiana Hoosiers to win and cover. Coach Cignetti, in his second year in the program, takes them all the way through the playoffs, 15-0, undefeated season. Unbelievable story, because the way I'm looking at this game, I feel like Carson Beck has played very well throughout these playoffs, but there's been a couple times there's been some lulls and it hasn't looked perfect. He hasn't made every throw that he has available to him. And I think on the other side, you just know Fernando Mendoza is not going to blink. He may get sacked a couple times, but as we saw against Ohio State, he'll get right back up from those sacks and convert a second and long and convert a third and long. So even if you have Ruben Bain and Mesidor on the other on Miami's defensive line rushing the passer, Fernando Mendoza on the other side can take those hits, can take those bullets and get back up and keep firing back. So Fernando Mendoza is most of the reason why I'm going to take Indiana. But Indiana is not a one-man show by any means. Their receiving core has been unbelievable since the month of December has started, carrying it all the way on to January 19th. This Indiana receiving core has been going crazy. Mendoza has been putting the passes exactly where they need to be put, and they're making the plays. There's been a lot made of the blue chip ratio for Indiana versus Miami. I don't care. This Indiana team has been the best coached team in the country thus far, and I don't expect anything to change about that on Monday. They're tough. They're disciplined. They know how to get off the field. And on the other side, on offense, they know how to stay on the field. They convert. They stay ahead of the chains. They do everything, every textbook thing that you want to say about a football team to have success. Indiana is doing it. They're tough. They're hard-nosed. They're disciplined. They're smart. It's unbelievable what this team has been capable of. And I tip my cap to Kurt Signetti, Fernando Mendoza, this whole Indiana program. And honestly, I do the same thing to Mario Cristobal in Miami on the other side. They've had an unbelievable season. They barely made the playoffs, and they've been able to take down the SEC, the Big Ten. It's been a wonderful ride for them as well. If they were able to pull it off, it would be a huge, huge accomplishment. Miami playing in Miami, winning in front of the home crowd. We'll see what that crowd ends up looking like because Indiana took over the Peach Bowl last week, but I don't imagine it'll be the same 95-5 split of Indiana fans to Oregon fans. I don't imagine that happening. In theory, it should be a Miami home game, but given the fact Mendoza is from the city, I don't think it's gonna be an interesting split in that stadium. So again, I have Indiana Hoosiers covering -8.5, and I got them winning outright. Yeah, should be a very interesting game. Very interesting game and seemingly an appropriate end to the college football season. So, with that being said, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Once again, go ahead, hit that like button. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Click the link. Go over to Spotify. Subscribe on Spotify. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I'm better than your favorite better. And we'll see you next week. We'll come back, recap all this, talk about everything, talk about NFL playoffs, talk about whatever. So thank you. Thanks for being here. And until next week, I'll see you.